So this is the now leather hard chicken head wall sculpture that we worked on yesterday, and it is now leather hard. And the air inside of it, when I cut a hole, is probably gonna escape a little bit. It's already started shrinking, and a pressure is building up in it. So I do need to make a hole into anything that's enclosed like this. So to make the keyhole, I'm just gonna find the center, and I'm going to cut area for the nail to go in. Alright, let's see if I can get that out of there. And then I'm going to soften that up just with my fingers. And that will be what my keyhole in the back is going to look like. Now, I am going to start applying some underglaze. So I'm going to start with a couple areas, and I'm going to add the comb, the red comb on. And the underglaze is kind of amazing in that pretty much how it looks when I apply this is how it's going to look when it's fired. It's going to be fairly bright. To get it brighter, you may have to, oh, looks like the chicken's head is bleeding. You may have to, there we go, apply a couple coats. And if you're using a darker clay, you may have to apply white slip first in order to have it reach, the best brightness. But truly, the underglazes are like paints, and for clay. It does look like the eye is bleeding, but we'll cover that up with black in a little bit. I should have shaken that up just a little bit better, or maybe my brush was a little wet. Let's put that cap back on. Tight, give it a couple shakes. All right, now I'm also going to add the orange. Now this orange isn't a normal orange. I just mixed it using red and some yellow, and I just like it more than the normal oranges that are sold. It's just a deeper color, I think. The clay is just a little tacky, and so the underglaze is kind of smearing on the surface just a little. I can see the clay through it, and so that's something I may have to reapply, but it gets me started at any rate. Now, this is the black underglaze, and that's going to be a little bit more covering, but again, you can see it's kind of streaky, and so it's always good to wait until the clay is just on the other side of leather hard. At leather hard, you can move clay on the surface, and I can still move clay on the surface. It's not tacky anymore, so this is really close, but it does feel just a little bit too wet to really soak in. So I'm going to have to apply this and then let it sit. There's no reason for me to put the underglaze on the back, although I could if I wanted to, but it's not necessary. So whenever I can, I just avoid that. So I'll probably brush a few coats on this before I start carving the feathers in. This will just get me a nice coat, let it soak in a bit, come back, put another coat on, and I'll probably put 3 coats on before I do any carving at all. Now I need a smaller brush to get in some of these smaller spots. I'm gonna take my brush, get the water out, and just make a finer point and get in there. Cover up the bleeding chicken head. And at this point I can kind of wipe it away. I should say now too that these are non-toxic, so if you see me touching them with bare hands, that's why. I'm not too worried about these pigments. Alright, I might try to get a second coat on, and then I'll just have to let that set up before I can carve. If I tried right now, I've rehydrated the surface a bit, and it would stick to itself, and it wouldn't be a lot of fun. So I'm just gonna get rid of some of that. get a nice coating on, and I'll have to let that set up just a little bit. All right.